Hello everyone, good morning, go welcome to here. Today we're going to talk about something, okay? In my robe. Today I'm going to show you the only 2 chords you need to know as a beginner to play virtually every song. Pretty much. Kind of. Not really, but like pretty much, you know? And so this is slightly misleading, because it's not just 2 chords as much as it is 2 chord shapes. That being the major chord shape and the minor chord shape. And so let me show you those 2 shapes and then we'll talk about them. Here's your major chord shape. Duh. And here's your minor chord shape. Notice how the minor chord shape is just the major chord shape, just with your middle finger here lifted up. And so now, before we go any further, let me mention that these are not the only 2 major and minor chord shapes that exist, okay, in the world. There are many more, but we're starting with these 2, okay? These particular shapes that I showed you here are the E-shaped major and minor chords, which is a chord shape that is a part of the cage system, you know, and we're not going to get into the cage system in this video, but I'll leave some links down below if you want to learn more about it. And so now notice how I didn't mention which major and minor chords we were playing here. I didn't mention that, did I? That's because it doesn't matter. It's a fluff. Here's why, okay? For a moment, I want you to disassociate the chord name from the chord shape. And that is because we could take these major and minor chord shapes that I showed you here and use them to play every major and minor chord ever in all of the history of all the mankind forever. Okay? All we need to do is learn how to apply these chord shapes. So I tricked you a little. Sorry. We don't just need to know 2 chords, we need to know chord shapes. We don't just need to know chord shapes, we need to also know how to apply them. I had to say something to get you here, didn't I? Did I show you my lip gloss? And so the process of doing that is very simple, okay? Don't freak out. Both of these chord shapes have what is called a chord identifier. And so the chord identifier is a specific note within the shape that lets you know which chord you're playing. You might have heard it being referred to as the root note. We don't call it that around here. Not around here, we don't. No. We don't do that. And so in both our major chord shape and minor chord shape, the chord identifiers are on this note right here, on the 6th string. And so if we take our example chords that I showed before, duh and duh, whichever note our chord identifier is on is the chord that we're playing. So in this major chord, our chord identifier is on the A note. So this is the A major chord. And in our minor chord, the chord identifier is also on the 6th string, right? And so this is a B note. So this is a B minor chord. B minor chord. You hear it? It's B minor. And so now the good part about these 2 chord shapes is both their chord identifiers are both on the 6th string. So all you really have to do to apply these chord shapes is memorize the notes on this 6th string right here. Mind focus. And then you just have to line up your chord shapes that you want to play to the note on the 6th string, whose chord you want to play. And then there you go. You can play any major or minor chord you want. So let's play a progression together so we can see exactly how this works. So let's play a 1-2-5 chord progression in the key of G major. So those chords are going to be G major, A minor, and D major. So to play a D major chord, we need to find a G note along this string here. And we find one right there. And since we want to play a major chord, we'd have to plug in the major chord shape around this note here. So it's like that. G major. Then we want to play an A minor chord. So again, we need to find an A note along this 6th string here, and we find one right there. So we'll plug in the minor chord shape around this note here. Wow, yeah, totally. G major, A minor. Does anyone know temperature math? I don't know temperature math. I'm either freezing or boiling like a turkey on Easter. Next, we want to play D minor. D major. To play a D major chord, we need to find a D note along this string here, and we find one right there. And we have to plug in the major chord shape around this note here, right? So let's play that progression together. All I want is coffee cake, and no one even cares. Everyone's just going about their lives, and I'm over here wanting coffee cake, and no one cares. G major. Oh, dust. So that's all, everyone. All you need to know are the 2 chord shapes and the notes on the 6th string here. Then you can play any chord progression you'd like, anywhere on the fretboard. You know, that's all, okay? I'm gonna try to fix the temperature math. Temperature math. I don't know temperature math. Don't forget to go to megachurchmusic.com for the 70 Cent Guitar Study eBooks. Yeah, right there. Yeah, okay? We got the 70 Cent Guitar Study ebook. This book will especially help you in this situation because it has all the chord shapes, okay? And it tells you exactly how to move them to whatever freaking note you want. It's all in there. All organized in the cage system. Then there's a beginner guitar guide that's gonna help you on your beginner journey. It tells you exactly what you need to learn in order. It's got a practice schedule to implement all the things. We got the Key to Music Theory World Tour coming up soon. Duh! It's coming up soon, I don't know when. In this course, we go through the absolute fundamentals of music. Where keys come from, where scales come from, where the chords of keys come from, the whole thing. All of it. It's all in the course. Don't ever tell me to, oh, look at this, look at this. I want to go to the mall to get some candy. Don't forget to subscribe. At 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna solve a Rubik's Cube on camera for the world to see. That's all, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if ever you take yourself on a trip to the Netherlands and they tell you nethers, you say, I don't know what that means. I'm not Irish.